Well, Roger Federer, not only a wonderful champion, but he's so modest, he's humble, and he's an absolute gentleman. And earlier in the week, our own Bruce McAvaney went one-on-one with the Fed Express.
Roger, different to last year. I mean, this time last year you weren't feeling too well, were you?
I was in bed, you know, trying to feel better and not practicing and watching Kooyong on TV, you know. So this time around I feel better, you know. But I'm happy the way I feel, you know. I had a good off season, I had a good break after a long season, you know. But it was a good season, so I'm really excited to start off from scratch again. You mentioned Kooyong. I mean, you've been consistently here over the years. You obviously like this week and like this for preparation for the Australian Open. Yeah, I mean, I like to be in the city where, you know, the Grand Slam is held, you know, the following week. And you get some matches here, you know, you get the feeling to play with the linesmen and, you know, the spectators. And it's a cool, relaxed feeling over here at Kooyong. That's why I always like coming back, you know. So I was disappointed not to be playing last year, but I still actually played a decent Australian Open playing semi-finals, you know. And I hope by having an even better preparation this time around, I can go further. You always make the semi-finals of the Grand Slam. Yeah, I've had a good run in Grand Slams, you know. I think, what is it, 18 in a row? It is. Yeah, of course, I'm proud about that record, you know, but semis don't get to Grand Slam titles, but still it's a great effort, and it's kind of where I want to get to, and then from then on you can start dreaming about maybe winning the Grand Slam, you know, so I'm excited about this year. Shine, shine, shine on. George, there's a lot of talk about the Australian Open right now and just when it should be played. Do you think there will be a resolve to maybe move it? Well, I mean, it's not the end of the world if it stays. I mean, people are happy the way it is right now. It's just that the players, I think, wished it were maybe a couple of weeks later, just to have a longer off season. Then you can always decide to play the first couple of, you know, weeks of the year or not, and then you can come over to Australia. And I think the Australian Opens, you know, preparation tournaments will be a bit more relaxed as well. You know, Adelaide, you know, or Brisbane now, Sydney's, you know, Auckland, all those kind of tournaments would be more relaxed. And I think like this, it's all cramped in the beginning, you know, and you have to play right. Can be maybe for New Year's, you can't be at home. Christmas is just like a hustle, you know. So it's not perfect, but it still works, you know. Look, it's worked for the last few years, but we're always discussing about new ideas, and obviously it also has to work for the Australian Open, you know. So we'll see what happens. There's been a prize money increase just in the last week, and there's been some pressure, and you know, there's some nervousness that we might lose the Australian Open out of this country. I mean, how would you feel about that? I mean, we like to think it's as good as any of the other Grand Slam tournaments. It's the first time I hear it, that Australian Open might not be the Australian Open anymore, it might be the Asian Open, I don't know. But no, I think it's nice here, you know, it's got a long tradition as well, you know, that the Australian Open has been held here, you know, down under. They've had incredible, you know, legends and stars playing here. So, of course, I think it would be wrong, you know, to move it to somewhere else, you know, but honestly, I never heard of it. I don't think people should be scared here. I heard it's more a battle between Sydney and Melbourne all of a sudden, you know, but we'll see what happens there. But really, Melbourne does put on a good event. Players really love coming here. Very friendly people working, you know, at the tournaments, and very knowledgeable fans as well, so we love it here. What haven't you got out of tennis that you still want? You mean as in results in my life? I don't know. I mean, I got the Olympic gold, you know, it was Stan, which was a very nice feeling. It was a great celebration as well. Great celebration, a bit crazy, you know. So it freaked some people out to see me like this, you know. But it was funny for us anyhow. And was that just spontaneous, Roger? I mean, very spontaneous, yeah. I mean, kind of. I mean, we're always joking, like, if ever we achieve something in Davis Cup or maybe at the Olympics all of a sudden, like, oh man, you know, if we beat the Bryans, you know, we're in a shot for the Olympic gold and we beat #1 team in the world, we got to do something crazy, you know. And we were always playing around saying, like, if somebody's on fire, you're gonna kind of go to the person, warm yourself up, and you only do it back in the, you know, in the hotel, but you don't do it on, you know, on center court in front of thousands of people. So it was, I guess, very strange or funny for some people to see me this way, but I think it really sort of helped me to relax a little bit for a change, because it came as a complete surprise to win the Olympic gold in doubles. And what about the milestones? You've created so much history. I mean, do you sort of keep your eye on them? I mean, you know, Lendl's the only bloke ever to get #1 back. There's the 14 slams. There's all these things. Do you keep an eye on them now? Sure, I mean, I like the challenge, you know, honestly I do, and I like being challenged by the young players as well. I've gone through a few generations already now, you know, it was Pete and Andre, Moya still hanging in there, you know, then my generation was Leighton, Roddick, Ferrero, Safin, you know, those guys, and now the younger guys are coming up, and now even the next generation sort of announcing themselves already a little bit as well, you know. I think it's always a good test, you know, to play different players, you know, like Murray's, Djokovic's now, and Nadal. I like playing against them, and obviously, big goal for me is to get my #1 position back. Maybe win the French Open for the first time this year, or maybe one of the other years, that's fine too. And then obviously any Grand Slam I win right now is going to really be something very special, because either I can equal Pete Sampras's, you know, record or beat it, you know. So I'm going for 6 in a row at the US Open as well. So the times are very interesting, so I'm very happy about that.
I've got to ask you about Wimbledon, because it was one of the all-time great matches. It wasn't the result you were after, obviously. I mean, how much affection do you feel about that 4 3/4 hours with Rafa that day?
Well, I guess what I liked about it is the fair play, you know, between the two of us, and that, you know, we were able to transcend sport of tennis in a big way. You know, I was hoping to be around when the day comes that I can say that I've done something good to tennis, you know. I mean, I know winning is good, but that's mainly good for yourself. And I think it was very good that I had very dominating years for a long time, so people could really relate to tennis. You know, when they saw Formula 1, they saw Michael Schumacher. When they saw golf, they saw Tiger Woods. When they saw tennis, they saw me, you know. And I was very proud of that. But I think sometimes you also need a rival, and I got that in Rafa. And, you know, it was the great match we played there, and I think that's kind of the match people were waiting for a long time. I guess many people also felt that way, that it was hard to actually have a winner there as well. It was almost best to have a draw, so people maybe weren't that happy for him, but more sad for me. It sounds a bit crazy because I'm saying it, but I still feel it was one of those incredible matches, played on the highest of levels, into dawn. You know, it was almost too dark to be played for, but it was meant to be, you know, and Rafa did an incredible job to get the title there. But it doesn't mean it's over. I'm going to come back this year and hopefully win it again.
And if you were in Melbourne in a couple of weeks' time, who do you think will be the first to phone you up, Pete Sampras or Tiger Woods? Because you'll be level with him as well.
Yeah, level with both. How good is that? So they've got to make a race themselves, who writes the message first or who gets through the line first, you know. I hope it happens anyway. I'm going to give it my best shot here in Melbourne, and we'll see what happens.
We just love having you back. All the best, Roger. Thanks so much. Good luck to you, mate.
Yeah, thanks a lot.